A warm welcome to everyone joining us for the latest session in Calcine Media's highly regarded InvestNest webinar series. This entry is titled Sailing the Golden Wave, featuring ASX Explorers, TEM, and CGR at InvestNest 2025. I am Monica, your host and anchor from Calcine Media, and I'll be guiding you through today's webinar. Before going ahead with the session, it's important that you're aware this is a webinar for informational purpose only and should not be a solicitation or recommendation to engage in any investment activity under discussion. We are neither licensed nor qualified to provide investment advice through this platform. Now, the core idea behind the InvestNest webinar is to bring you face to face with a panel of industry experts who share not only the potential of their businesses and growth strategies, but also the deeper value and vision driving their companies forward. Today's session goes beyond the numbers. We'll uncover the untold stories behind how these business leaders identify key opportunities, took bold steps, and transform them into lasting success. Now, this event serves as a rich source of insights, offering guidance on emerging themes, breakthrough trends, and evolving opportunities within the Australian market. The business presentation today will be for 15 minutes by each speaker and will be followed by a 5 minutes of Q&A round. The webinar attendees can post their questions in the question and answer chat box during the webinar, and the same will be taken by the respective business leaders post their presentation. If due to time constraints we are unable to take your questions live, they can be sent to us on info@calkinemedia.com. Our esteemed panelists will ensure that all your queries are thoughtfully responded to. As we look forward, this webinar will explore the promising future of ASX listed companies emerging as key players in Australia's mineral exploration sector. Also, it should be noted that some of these resources we discussed today are gaining a strong momentum in the market. First up is CGN Resources Limited. The ticker code for this one is CGR. It's a mineral exploration company focused on the discovery of gold, copper, nickel, and critical metals. The company is actively progressing its flagship web project located in the West Arunta region. Alongside this, CGN Resources is further expanding its exploration footprint by advancing the Panhandle project. Additionally, the Christmas Well projects near Leonora remain key areas of focus with ongoing exploration activities. Expanding its reach, the company has recently secured highly prospective tenure in the Paterson province, strategically positioned along strike from the Nifty copper mine. Overall, CGN Resources now manages multiple projects across several promising terraces targeting the copper, gold, and critical metals. Our next featured company today is Tempest Mineral Limited. The ticker code for this one is TEM. It's a mineral exploration company with a diversified portfolio of projects across Western Australia. At the forefront of their portfolio is the 100% owned Mount Magnet Range project, situated just south of the historic Britannia Well Gold Mine. And this August, TEM is set to initiate its maiden reverse circulation drilling campaign here, focusing on high priority gold targets identified from recent detailed field work. Now, these prospects stretch along an impressive strike length of nearly 7 kilometers and cover diverse geological settings. In addition, the company's Yalgu project is showing strong promise with metallurgical test results from the Rimos iron discovery yielding up to 70% iron concentrate, which is an encouraging sign for the project's further development potential. I am delighted to introduce our esteemed speakers for today's session. We have Mr. Stan Woolley, the Managing Director of CGN Resources Limited, and Mr. Don Smith, the Managing Director of Tempest Minerals Limited. Now, both bring a wealth of experience and deep industry knowledge, driving exploration success in minerals Australia's mineral sector, right? So next we turn to Mr. Don Smith, the managing director of Tempest Minerals Limited. Mr. Don Smith brings over 20 years of diverse experience in the mining industry. A qualified geologist and entrepreneur, Don has worked across exploration, development, operations, and consultancy for a broad range of companies, from junior explorers to multinational resource firms, covering commodities such as base metals, precious metals, and energy minerals. He has been a founding director of several resource companies, notably leading the successful ASX listings of Platypus Resource and Alderon Resources. Don remains actively involved in startups and industry consulting as well. Welcome to Calkine Media's InvestNest webinar, Mr. Don Smith. We appreciate your patience while waiting for your turn. Please feel free to share your presentation deck and take over the virtual stage.
Thanks, Monica, and thanks, Calkine, for having us. And I apologise in advance to everyone for my voice today, where I've been unwell for a few days, so this may be suboptimal. Thank you for everyone watching, and also thanks to Stan for speaking before me. I'm a big fan of his and what they're doing, so it was good to have an update there. Onto Tempest. You can, of course, read our disclaimer in your own time with all the vigor it requires. A bit about the company before we launch into project-related stuff. For anyone who's not familiar with Tempest already, we're ASX-listed company, been around since about 2017, and we're originally a pure lithium explorer, but we have diversified in the last 5 years into a number of commodities and locations here in Western Australia. We've got a very modest market cap at the moment, to say the least, considering the value that we're proposing. And despite that, we have a fantastic team, as you can see on the list there. Notably, Brian Moller, who's a bit of a legend of the industry at chairman, and the rest of us who are all multidisciplinary, have degrees in different things, and have all built mines and made discoveries in the past. We've also got a great team who aren't listed there, including Jurka Justu, our chief geologist, and Paul German, our company secretary. What makes us different? I think Stan, who spoke before us, we have a lot in common here, in that we're trying to do excellent technical work and bring that into a commercial framework, which will, inevitably have outcomes. And the way that we differentiate Tempest is our commitment to sustainability. Everything we do starts off with that lens. The second thing is our technology usage. I'm confident there's not anyone in the industry at our scale doing some of the things that we are with computers and the technology. And the third is, of course, the quality of our projects and how we want to grow the company. So particularly on the last one, that's what the next lot of slides are about. If it will change. Yeah, there we go. So as I mentioned, all our projects are here in Western Australia. They're located as per the map there. I'm going to separate the discussion today twice into two different parts. One of those is going to be gold focused, and the other is going to be iron focused. And gold being first, as it's very popular and exciting today, and indeed the title of the webinar. So our three main gold target projects that we have at the moment are in Mount Magnet, Yalgoo, and in the Fraser Range, which is called Elephant. As I was introduced earlier, or Tempest was introduced earlier, we have the imminently to be tested Mount Magnet area. Okay, so our project there is called the Range project, and we've got a number of targets that we're planning on drilling in the coming few weeks, actually. So if we do a bird's eye view of the entire region, I guess, the Mount Magnet region, you can see we've got two very significant players surrounding us. So the Tempest ground there is the red color, and you can see the green around us is Ramelius, who are a multi-billion-dollar market cap company, one of the major miners in Australia. And you also have Ordell, who's recently made some exciting gold discoveries, only a few hundred meters, few kilometers away from our project. And I guess you can do your own research on that, but you can see there's a significant difference in the way that our companies are trading relative. Uh, our first target I want to talk about, and this is what we, in fact, my geologist is driving into site right now to finalize some things for this. Is called the Wrangler target. So we've got the Britannia pit, which is on the left-hand side of that image, and everything to the right-hand side of that image is Tempest. And a little over a year or so ago, we did some fancy geological modeling stuff to try and understand where, if there was more gold, where it was going to be. And lo and behold, we walked out to the field to where that model said, which is where my mouse is moving just now, and we found some gold. So that's a pretty easy start point for drill targeting. But since then, we've also done some further work in the last few weeks, and we've announced that where a consultant's done some review of the rocks that are present at our project and shown that them to be the equivalent of intrusive rocks within the Ordell and also Ramelius ground surrounding us. And that's also generated some extra targets for us to consider drilling, and we're certainly going to drill a couple of those in this upcoming project drilling program that we have planned, which will be somewhere in the order of 1,500 meters of RC drilling. Moving on from the Range project, we'll go to the Yalgoo project, which is our flagship project due to its size and opportunity. You can see all the yellow spheres on the screen. They're all existing gold prospects, or existing gold deposits, I should say. And we have been exploring here for a few years, and we have already uncovered multiple lots of gold mineralization in our exploration. And I'll take you through some of those relatively quickly just now. The first one is called Sanity. So this is a long strike from Warriedar Resources Barron deposit. Warriedar, who of course have made news recently with their large gold antimony deposit extension, as well as being a takeover target from another company. We believe that this is the same rocks extending into our project, and we have a extensive geochemical anomaly at the surface which correlates with that, with results up to uh, about 300 ppb in some cases in soils, but in rock chips there is economic grades there of approximately 7 grams in around old shafts. So people in the olden days did explore here also, put down shafts, but maybe with modern technology we can now understand the greater picture that it's part of a bigger system. So we're looking to test some of this hopefully later this year as well. This is the target that actually started our interest in this whole region in Yalgoo. This is called the War West target. So it's an intrusion within the middle of the Yalgoo greenstone belt. And historically, this was mapped as a barren granite. However, we, through various means, found that there was a lot of prospectors there who had found quite a lot of gold. And so we started exploring it, and now we recognize this as a large intrusion-related gold system. And we've found several examples of high grade outcrops, and there's one there that was 8 grams per ton. That's called Weload, and we drilled that a few years ago and got similar results directly underneath it. And you can see the relevance of that in the picture where there is a unutilized gold mill only a few kilometers away in the distance there, visible from where we're working. So we're looking forward to doing some more follow-up work for this in the imminent future. Similarly, to the north of that, we have the Messenger target, which was one of the most prolific gold producing areas in Australia, one of the first places that gold was discovered in Western Australia, actually. And there was a government facility there for processing gold at one point. We've done limited exploration there, but we have already found multiple occurrences of gold. And historic drilling there hit grades up to 300, 1,000 grams per ton. So there's definitely gold there. There's more work needs to be done to find where it's been concentrated. To the south, we've got another area we've done some exploration and had results. You can see there's a whole string of drilling, both historic and done by Tempest there, with results historically of up to 15 meters at 2 grams. We had a peak number of 3 meters at 4, but that was within a larger sort of 50-meter envelope. So we're also looking to do more work there in the imminent future. So lots of news coming, so make sure you stay tuned on all our gold exploration. I'll only mention this passingly, but we have a larger, more speculative project called the Elephant Project. We identified this through the similarity of the geophysical signature of this area to another large gold mine to the north of us called Tropicana. There's also some compelling geochemistry, about an 8-kilometer long gold anomaly in the soil. So once we've gone through the regulatory processes to get here, we'll also likely test this one in the not too distant future also. And that's the target I just mentioned. All right, on to iron, which is our second prong in our story at the moment. Again, looking at the Yalgoo region I mentioned before in a gold context. Now we'll look at it from an iron context. It's actually one of the most prolific iron regions in Australia, with no fewer than 4 world-class giant, well, 5 now, giant iron deposits there, and including Mount Gibson, Carrara, Sino, and the FIGV Yogi deposit in the north. In late last year, we were drilling a copper anomaly, ironically, at the project here, and we came upon a large iron deposit, which we have now named Remorse. A quick summary. There's a lot of information there. I won't read it all out, but we have generated a exploration target of up to 110 million tons. We've managed to, from the limited drilling we did, we have generated an inferred resource of 63 million tons. And as I think was mentioned earlier, we've done a ton of metallurgy on the results or the drilling that we've done already, and we've got spectacular results, really, up to 70% recovery, which is about as good as it gets. And so now we're looking further down the path of what that looks like as a potential development opportunity as a standalone mine or part of a larger operation. There's some more pictures and information on that. As I said, there's the exploration target and the resource estimate that we've completed. And there's some information on the metallurgy. So we didn't just do 1 or 2 samples. We did 9 large composites that are spread right across the deposit. So we've got a very strong handle on what the metallurgical responses of the deposit are overall. And feeling very, very positive and very confident about this going forward. We've only just released in the last few days or last week or so that we've also identified a second one of these, and we've named that Halo. And it's only circa 3 kilometers away from Remorse, so very, very close. Exactly the same rocks. We've now confirmed that by field work, and looks to be exactly the same kind of stuff, but at least 2 or 3 times as big. So we could be looking at quite a substantial overall resource being generated in this area. And this is right beside infrastructure, so it's only 400 kilometers from Perth. It's a few minutes drive away from a major road, and highways, rail, power, water, telecoms, they're all there already. There's a major mining area already. So this is not remote exploration. This is something that can be in production very, very quickly. So we're working towards that as fast as we can, and we're looking forward to drilling the Halo target hopefully later this year. I mentioned infrastructure. That gives you some perspective of what I've just mentioned. So we've got the Great Northern Highway here, and we've got 3 or 4 rail heads right nearby to us. So critically, we've signed a MOU with a steel production startup here in WA who's looking to build a facility in Yalgoo, just to the north of our project. And we think that this could be a major regional development for Western Australia, and in terms of downstream processing of something that we would normally just dig up and send overseas. That's what I just mentioned, the MO with Green Steel. We'll have some more news coming on that in the near future. So I recommend that anyone who's not already, they follow our story and keep their ears open for news. So what's coming? So as I mentioned, we've got further iron updates, both corporately and exploration wise. We're going to be doing more drilling and also developing this whole concept of a new iron processing facility. We've also got the drilling I mentioned earlier. So that's the highlight, I guess, that everyone wants to hear about at the moment, is we'll be drilling at Mount Magnet very shortly. Same rocks as our neighbours who have got major valuations and indeed major deposits. So we'll be doing that and more exploration all around our portfolio. And anyone who wants to learn more about the company, I recommend you visit our website and, of course, our YouTube, where we have videos explaining all of the things that I've just outlined.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Don Smith, for taking out the time to present and share your expertise. Wishing you a quick and full recovery. We'll take questions for TEM now. So, Don, the first one, what are your key goals from the RC drilling at Mount Magnet?
Well, certainly it's to find some gold. That's the short answer. It is more than that, though, because there has been a little bit of historical drilling, specifically where we are drilling, and but it was quite a long time ago, and let's just say the records were not fantastic, and the threshold for what was interesting back then was very different now to now. So we're looking to hopefully find an extension of the gold system that we know is there, but also to understand the geology better, so that we can then expand that model into the rest of our holdings.
Sure. And how does the Mount Magnet project fit into Tempest Minerals' overall growth strategy?
Oh, it's always been a critical one because of its very compelling location. It's completely surrounded by a major miner, and yeah, we think there's an excellent opportunity to provide more feedstock for their very hungry mill there in Mount Magnet.
Great. And how important are the Rimos iron metallurgical results for Yalgu?
Oh, look, very important. Whenever someone talks about iron ore and specifically magnetite, the first thing they say is, what's the processing look like? Because it demands that in terms of whether it's going to be an economic proposition or not. And the fact that we've got results that are in the very highest possible numbers you can physically get certainly tells us that this is it's heading in the right direction.
Sure. And what's next for developing the Rimos iron discovery?
So we're going to be understanding more in terms of the more technical stuff around the deposit, so understanding the geology better, and then potentially looking at some conceptual mine designs and that kind of thing. But overall, we'll also be doing drilling at Halo, because if that is as big as it implies, then we have two ore bodies right beside each other, and we need to work out the synergies of those.
Sure. So this is going to be the last one from the flow. Don, what are your long-term vision and milestones for Tempest Minerals?
Oh, look, we'd like to uh, raise off the from the bottom level of the junior explorer category that we currently sit, and like to head towards a lower to mid cap size company through development of our projects and discoveries. Yeah.
Sure. So before we end this webinar, I would like to request our esteemed presenters to unmute, turn on your cameras, and share a brief takeaway for our audience.
Takeaways from Tempest is that for quite a long time we've been a multi-commodity explorer. So uh, we're not focused on individual commodities, despite me talking about them uh, quite a bit in our presentation today. We believe in good geoscience, good projects, and doing things well. So one of the ways that we succeed in the last part is our harnessing of the technology and everything, and that means that we can move very quickly by using efficient processes. And of course, sometimes you're dragged down by factors outside our control. But compared to a lot of our peers, I think we've shown in the last 6 months or last 8 months that we've gone from a discovery to a resource to doing all our metallurgy and being ready to look at mine designs and stuff in only a few short months. So it means it shows that we are doing what we say would we do. Uh, yeah, and I think that that is something that's not. And that and the quality of our projects and the potential of what we could have coming is not being recognized in the market yet. So, for anyone who is a shareholder, as Stan said, patience. Understand that we're in a challenging period in the market, but also I think we are going to see significant changes in re-rating in the near future.
A heartfelt thanks to Mr. Stan Oli and Mr. Don Smith for being part of today's session and sharing such valuable perspectives. On behalf of Calkine Media, I would like to extend my gratitude for addressing our audience with meaningful insights and patiently answering their queries with such great analysis. I would also like to take a moment to thank our engaged audience for being a part of this webinar. We hope each one of you found the session informative. And to delve further into equity and market updates, audience do visit our media website, www.calkinemedia.com/au. Also do visit our equity research website, which is www.calkine.com.au. Now, this wraps up today's session. But we'll be back soon. Stay tuned with Calkine Media for the next chapter of the Calkine Nest webinar series. We are very active on our social media platforms, so please stay connected with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you have any queries, our email ID is info@calkinemedia.com. Stay apprised, invest wise. Thank you once again for your time and participation. Wishing you a pleasant day ahead.